Great. All right. Again, welcome everyone. Here's we're back. It's another Wednesday, and it's another webinar as a part of our PPM Express workshop series. And as you could see, I have our website page up, and don't worry about writing down the URL address. I'm going to put everything into a chat. All the information that you're going to need is going to be in the chat. Again, these are the webinars are live, and they're also live on YouTube. And they're also going to be recorded and available to you as a replay live on YouTube. So we are here. Today is the 27th of July. And the theme of our today's webinar is program management. Why organize your projects into programs? This is our agenda for the day. And we have our SMEs with us. And specifically, we're going to ask Alex, our Microsoft MVP, to be able to present this particular subject to us. He's well versed and certainly comes to us with lots and lots of experience. Again, just as a reminder, we do have additional webinars coming to you every 2 weeks. We're going to send out an email reminding you, or you can come to this page and register for one or all of them in a series. Now, if you've missed anything, if you scroll to the bottom of the page, they're also available to you in our YouTube channel by simply clicking on the link. So if you missed our PPM Express Getting Started or Strategic Portfolio Management session, you could just watch the replay right on YouTube. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, don't forget that there are links down below in the show notes where you'll be able to, again, find this page. And also to all of our webinar attendees, what we did is normally we offer a free trial of the PPM Express tool. So and it's normally for 30 days. For all of our webinar attendees, since the whole series is going to last longer than 30 days, we're extending the free trial to last all the way to the beginning of November. So you can load your own data into the tool and follow us along if you wish. So again, I'm going to leave all those links will be available either on YouTube in show notes below, or I'm also going to leave them in the live chat here for our live chat attendees. Anyway, without further ado, I'd like to turn this over to Alex Rodov, and he will be covering program management in PPM Express.
All right, thanks, Yuri, for a quick intro. Welcome, everybody, whatever you are watching this, either live webinar or on YouTube. Thank you for stopping by and watching our short videos here. We're excited to share great tool, a great solution for any PMO organization. I'm going to start sharing my screen. You can share. It's new. Here, I need to start sharing. Stop the screen share. Yeah.
I stopped screen share.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good. So we are here. And let me know when you see the screen.
We see a screen.
Yeah, great. Yeah. So the topic for today's webinar is program management, right? And we typically start talking about project management, resource management, and sometimes we talk about portfolio management. Obviously, we have all kinds of topics covered. Just to start with, I'm going to quickly go through like a homepage here, which is basically if you get into the PPM Express, this is what you have on top here, which is my space, kind of showing you like what's current for you, my critical tasks that are assigned to me specifically from a team member, right? But here we're talking about the program management, and I'm going to get to the program in 1 second just to show you some of these insights Even from the program management perspective, you may want to be able to look at everything from a specific perspective. So you can use some of these filters and basically pick a certain project that you, and pick a certain project that would comprise your portfolio and take a look at that. But some of these obvious features, I'm gonna zip through this because this is not a topic for this webinar, but if you can look at the program or portfolio or a bunch of projects in one kind of page, you can quickly get to the nice Gantt chart with some statuses here and some AI like warnings here. And I'm going to go through some of this later when I talk about programs. So we have the concept of programs, portfolios, and projects. And portfolios in this case would be the collection of projects underneath. So we have here in this case, in this demo, we have 4 different portfolios. And within these portfolios, we have also programs. Within those programs, we have those projects. And some of these projects are under this portfolio too. So in a nutshell, the hierarchy of these things is very, very complete. So at the bottom, we have ideas, projects, and then we go all the way up to programs, and programs we roll up to the portfolios. And a lot of times, terminology is different in organizations, from organization to organization. Some people call it a portfolio, collection of projects. Some people call it a program. There is obviously like PMI established terminology about the difference between program and portfolios. In a nutshell, there is not very much different between programs and portfolios, but we have preserved that hierarchy here anyway. I do want to focus on programs here, so I'm going to click on programs and see. In this case, I have 2 programs. I'd like to keep it very simple so you can understand what we're talking about. We have 2 programs. Each of these programs, if I expand that, the first one, expand the second one, we can see that there are projects underneath of those programs. And obviously, we and our reporting and analytics, we can start rolling up the information from those projects underneath up to those programs. And you can have a program that is, has hundreds of projects underneath, right? And then maybe some of these projects roll up to a certain portfolio. We usually discuss this with customers and advise them what's the best way to slice and dice your portfolio into portfolios and programs. Any which way, let us create a new program, right? Let's just say we have a new program, and or usually we have some of the projects that we have already created. Some of the projects may have been already in progress, and then we would think that it would make sense to comprise them into a program, right? And now we're going to create one. So I'm going to click on a new and say create a new program. I'm going to give it the program a name, say webinar programs, webinar program program with projects, okay, something like that. Create a project filter. That basically allows, that automatically creates a project filter. So if you are in the list of projects, you can quickly filter, just filter to just look at your portfolio, which is in this case your program, and quickly get to that. We have different layouts available and configuration and stuff like that, but here we're gonna quickly create this program, and this program already giving us a major usual suspects of what is it we would like to see on our dashboard program. So it rolls up information under this program, but right now at this point we don't have really anything as far as projects. So if we scroll down to a list of projects here, we don't really have anything. Here's the project section is empty, right? So we can either create a project, which is basically a brand new project that would roll into this program, or we can pick a project that is already created, has been already running for some time. So I'm going to add a project, click on that, and that will give me the list of all available projects that are not associated to a program yet, right? Remember, the program to project relationship would be one to many. So that would be one program, many projects, and you cannot assign many projects to one, many programs to one project, right? So we can pick a few projects here. We can pick this one project, we can pick that one project, click on done, and here we go. Now we have 3 projects that are part of our portfolio. So that helps to focus the program manager on what is it going on for a specific program. I can look at this project in one shot. I can roll up and see how many projects are here, how many are on track, how many projects are done, and days remain, number of days remaining, and things like that. We haven't filled out a lot for this program yet, but we're gonna start filling this a little bit more. So we also have here some key dates here as well. So let's fill this out. Right, and we also have the timeline. So let's fill out our program information here down below. So also there's just 3 different statuses, and let's just say for this program, maybe we're not really tracking cost status, where we don't need to track cost status. I can quickly come here to this configuration and say, you know what, I don't want to track cost status here, or I do want to track. You see, it disappears, right? If I just deselect this would disappear from here, so I don't need to do that. But if I want to use the cost, maybe I'm going to shift this around, I can make the order at which they're listed different. So this kind of little tweak here. And then maybe I should say, on track for all the statuses, cost status is on track, and maybe, schedule status, we may be starting late. So I may just put a little red in there, and look, right there, it will tell me that warning, program schedule status is at risk. Please consider changing overall status. So basically, if I'm claiming that overall status is on track, and I have one of the sub statuses kind of at risk, so it kind of warns me there's inconsistency in the way I assess my KPIs, my indicators here. So I may want to actually consider to say overall status is at risk, because at least one of the other indicators are like this, right? So, and it will give us a lot of these warnings down the road and help us to manage this program more efficiently. Let's say if I would have the schedule, just bring everything on track, right? And just bring everything on track, and I bring everything on track. And I do want to point out, you see that it does keep the history of all these changes that I'm making. So I've changed the status at risk, or from on track to at risk, and I changed it back on track. This will actually tell me all the history of everything that I did, right? What's the warning here? At least one project has a warning. Please consider changing. All right, so it's not only looking at my program status, it's also looking at the status of some of these projects. So some of these projects are critical here. And if I look at this one project that is critical all the way around, maybe if I can bring it back on track, say it back on track, and go back to my program. That's my program. There's webinar program. There's this one. So now I still have something going on here. At least one project has warning. Please consider. I say, what's the warning? I have some late tasks, right? In those projects, I do have some late tasks. That means that this little warning gives me this silver, this magic binocular, where I can look, without actually looking into the actual project. I can tell that there are some activities that are past due, right? And I can get an indication of that right at the program level. So we can also create a new program here. Let me just also to have attention of yours to look at here.
Alex,
Yes.
if I could add one comment here, under the overall status, cost status, it's also important to know that that text can be edited to give a more clear understanding of why your status might be yellow or red or green. Right.
Yes, Eric, you are correct. And that becomes part of the rationale between, like, say, if you were putting this as at risk, right? And you want to explain what's going on, right? Because this may bubble up in my insights, PPM insight. This will look at, list all the programs and projects that are critical or at risk, and I may have some brief explanation to that status. So if I would like to communicate that to my stakeholders, that's the way I would do it. Thank you. So also, if I look at the summary statuses, summary here, statuses here, I have projects here, right? Key dates. I have key dates. I can say, you know what? You can import key dates from file if you have like a bunch of key dates. If you don't want to do the line one by one, but I'm just going to say this is a kickoff key date, right? And that would be something like August 1st, for example, show and timeline, and say create, right? So now I'm going to create some of these milestones, and now they're going to show up on the timeline. Here it is. Kickoff just showing up on the timeline. I can add more and more key dates. These sort of like a program golden posts, right? Maybe you have a deployment going on, maybe you have major milestone that you would like to kind of put it out there and then track everything against it. Also, we have all kinds of portfolio association descriptions that you can put out there. Program state, start date. So we're going to start on August 1st, and finish date of this program would be, say, December 31st. Very short program, and that's it, right? But you know what? I may want to add more things to my program, and there's a little trick here. So if you go to and then try to, I'm sorry, it's scared. If we go and try to add more things, you can. So right now we have statuses, projects, key dates, details, details, right? All listed here on the left side. If I start adding action items, let me add action items to my program. Let me add budget to my program. Let me add key decisions, risk, strategic alignment. These are the options that can add to my program, and I can maybe even say, you know what, key decisions, which probably go up, after the statuses, right? The statuses and key decisions, like them to be close to each other, right? So now I have all my statuses, and I have my key decisions. I can enter new decision, say it's a new decision, new decision by Eric, and put it out there, and maybe say, deciders was Eric was the one who decided, right? So we can say who made a decision. Also, if you scroll down, we see those details there. Those details here, we have action items, right? I need to do, so Eric to do more reports for leadership team, right? And say assign it to, I'm going to assign it to myself and to Eric. In this case, I can have two people assigned. So I have the list the way I manage it. If I'd like to, really put more financial rigor into it, there you go. We have options to say, here's my forecast, and August, September, October, November, December. I can stretch my budget and have financial, information also in there. On and on and on. I know we kind of gonna run out of time here before I show. I would like to show you all these tabs I have here for reports. But let me just go through risks. We can add risks here. Say webinar program level risks. Risk. Eric is talking too much. Just put this here. Due date today, assigned to Alex, and something like that, right? I can add that risk very, very quickly. And I'm zipping through this, so I know that you'll be able to watch it again. And also strategic alignment. This is something that we do with the portfolio optimization, like coming up with business drivers and maybe aligning this program with our strategic drivers. This is more like talking about value streams and how we can align this whole portfolio or program with our value, right? And value streams methodology. If you are into something like that. Separate webinar about that topic, absolutely. But in a nutshell, we're looking at the program with 3 projects here, with all this information, keying up, making up to this here, approaching, so key dates approaching one. We have August 1st, right? It is one approaching. If I quickly get to this information, I can get to this information. If I look at the program, I can quickly look at this program and its projects. I mean, even though I put like August 1st, there are some projects that are going on for some time. But again, that gives you visibility to all those projects that you have underneath of that program. I'd like to also mention that, and I have it set up for this particular program, so you can see that we can create a cross-project dependency. So some of these arrows that you see here are representing the links between these projects, which basically gives us, connects all these different programs and projects, because we know there are some milestones that are driving other milestones in other projects. So this is how we can actually really connect those and display and have a better visibility to our programs and better manage the program. So obviously, when you operationally run the program, run project status report, process, then you would run probably the program steering committee project, steering committee or program status reports. And in this case, if you look at the portfolios, you look at portfolio, program portfolios, slash program report. So we a lot of times talk about programs being portfolio, and in our reports we have a lot related to the portfolio type of reporting. I'd like to quickly glance through some of this reporting that we have, and all the reporting within PPM Express is done through Power BI. So there's one feed from PPM Express to Power BI that will be available for the organization to use. And you can have your own Power BI people to start cranking some of these reports, start using that feed, creating Excel reports or Power BI reports or any other reports, as a matter of fact. But we already have pre-built some of these reports in PPM Express, and a lot of these reports are available. So you don't start from scratch. Some of these, examples of financials, right? We would be able to see the forecast, the baseline, actuals, if we do run and keep our financials in our programs. We here where we can look at project risks, right? Project or program risks, and this is where we can really get to the bottom of what's going on with those risks and narrow it down to a project or program or portfolio. So say, for example, if I like to look at open risks, or I'd like to look at a specific subset of projects, I can quickly hold the control here and quickly get to the list of projects and their risks within my portfolio. I have here the option to let's go to this report here. So the portfolios, for example, if I do have a specific portfolio, I can narrow my information down to that specific portfolio. So example here would be demo portfolio. Demo portfolio. I can get to and narrow down my information based on that. What I can also do is narrow down by portfolio stage, or again look at a specific portfolio. I just want to kind of give you also a quick view into this, where we have all of these reports available, pre-built already. They're all done in Power BI, and they all become readily available as a template for you to start with. Those reports. Some companies like reports this way, some companies like report it that way. But basically, you know which way you like it, you're gonna be able to run those reports and create those reports. So let's go back to my insights here, and at this point, I think it's time for us to maybe look at any questions if we have any questions, and Yuri, back to you, basically.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alex. This was great. Again, you can, if you do have any questions, you could just put them right into the chat and we can address them. Again, as a reminder to the YouTube listeners, or viewers, I should say, all the links for the future workshops and show notes below. Certainly subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so. And if you click on the bell, you'll be notified every time we go live. And all these webinars, they are every 2 weeks. The links, all the links are in the chat and will be on the replay notes on our channel on YouTube. So if you have the time, join us for all. They're progressive in nature. You know, the tool is, as you could see, it's very intuitive. I mean, you could certainly get going, lots of help available. You just sign up for an account, populate with data, and you can start using it in 10 minutes, but yet it's very powerful. So that's why we want to really address sort of cover every aspect of the tool and really dive deeper and deeper. And as we go through it, by the time we're done by November, I think everyone will get a really good feel of what this tool is capable of. So again, this is just another one of our continuing webinar on PPM Express and the best practices. Thank you all for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Thanks.